This laptop is best in this price range. This display is good too and quite big, 17.3 for media and gaming needs, but RAM is less at 8GB, but it is easily upgradable and NVMe SSD is fast and booting time is just under 10 seconds. Laptop is great in its price range. Good display, average glide pad, fair battery life, best performance. Someone told me that it has screen flickering issues, but it's a common issue which can be solved by updating drivers from manufacturer's website. Awesome beast with Ryzen 7 and GTX 1650, very smooth experience, love gaming, multitasking and browsing. Easily handles production softwares including Premiere Pro and Photoshop. I really say, this monster with such pricing and 17.3 inches IPS display with 512GB NVMe is just too much. Cooling system is okay as you can expect from a gaming laptop, and battery backup is nominal too. I have been using this laptop for a month now and everything is up to my expectation. This new generation Ryzen CPU is awesome and competes neck to neck with the Intel counterparts. As compared to the latest Acer Predator, Helios 300, Nitro 5 and ROG Strux with GTX 1650, this one stands on the top with a complete value for money package. Just update your RAM with another SK Hynix 2666 MHz and go with dual channel. It beats everyone with performance, power and usability. Helios 300 has heating problems on the front panel above the keypad which gets really hot. ROG Strux does not provide you webcams and Nitro 5 is completely beaten in performance. According to me, this is the best pocket-friendly gaming laptop which do provide you mid-end gaming performance. Till now I have not discovered any cons yet. If I do find one, I will update it later. Best budget laptop for all purpose. I purchased for video editing purpose, where HitFilm Express and Adobe Premiere Pro run smoothly in turbo mode. Extra features that I liked in this model: 1 extra RAM slot. 2 5-inch SATA SSD or HDD slot. Disappointing features: 1 60Hz refresh rate. This laptop is amazing. After using it for 3 months, I am quite impressed with this laptop. I am using it for my 3D work and I haven't faced any problem yet. The software I am using: 3ds Max, Maya, ZBrush, Substance Painter, and Photoshop. All you have to do increase it backward SRAM 8GB to 16GB and everything works like butter. For those who are a game artist like me, you can create low and mid-level assets without much lag. Attention! Lengthy review but worth the read, because it covers all you need to know about this laptop and explains why this is a good buy in 2020 for gamers and content creators on a budget. I bought this laptop for 57,990 rupees. It's definitely a good buy even for 60k cause prices keep fluctuating daily. Sometimes the price reaches a whopping 73k, for which you could go for ROG Strux or Lenovo Legion if you have the budget. Also, do not go for the newer TUF A15 series right now, because it has some serious thermal issues and worse display than this series in terms of gaming, even though it provides much powerful 4th gen AMD CPUs. Lesser response time and lower color reproduction display. Now to the laptop. Ryzen 7 3750H is certainly powerful for daily tasks and has similar performance to i5 8th gen laptops, if not higher. I usually do small programming tasks and light gaming. Everything is a breeze from M's Word to using Chrome. I bought this laptop because it has good performance to price ratio. Also for gaming, GTX 1650 can run most games before 2015 at ultra settings with 40 to 50 FPS in turbo mode. I tested AC4 at ultra graphics and it had few stutters here and there. But at high settings, the game performed fairly smooth. Also I checked Splinter Cell Blacklist and NFS Rivals at ultra graphics in turbo mode. Both were buttery smooth. Regarding CSGO players out there, you could easily get 80 plus FPS in ultra settings. All games above are played in turbo mode, which needs charger to be plugged in. On battery you can go up to performance mode, which can result in a frame drop of 10 to 15 FPS. But since on performance mode fan is slower, more heating will occur and game will lag on long gaming sessions. So it is advisable to play on plugged-in turbo mode for a cooler and smoother gameplay experience. In turbo mode fan is quite loud but manageable. It helps to keep the temperature below 75 degrees Celsius. That's about gaming. Display is locked at 60 Hz and has 95% sRGB, which is average these days. But it is not a problem at all as the display is sharp and provides good viewing angles along with anti-glare. The display is a little bit dim at 250 nits, but okay for outdoor use at maximum brightness. Since it has a large display, 17:3, it is good for a portable desktop experience and entertainment. The keyboard is great to look at and type on, with good key travel. There are 3 to 4 color mode in the RGB keyboard like rainbow, static, strobing, breathing, available in Armoury Crate. WASD keys have a different accent to easily identify the keys. Laptop build is not exactly military grade, but pretty decent tough plastic. There is little to no flex in keyboard area and palm rest, but display has a bit of flex, which is normal. Design of the laptop is great, especially the back panel and red speaker accent. There is ample palm rest space, but the trackpad is a little disappointing. It flexes more than normal and has no separate left and right buttons. So you can't click them both at once, especially important in shooter games. You can use a mouse instead. But the upside is that you get Microsoft Precision Trackpad, which is accurate and supports lots of cool gestures. Speaker is bit on the lower side and lacks bass, but you can tweak the equalizer settings in Realtek Audio app for more bass. The loudness is average and don't expect any better quality in this price range. But you can use headphones and use the DTX Dolby Sound feature for immersive sound experience. Webcam is of potato quality, which is a trend generally seen this budget. It can record videos in 720p and microphone quality is okay. I have run into some problems and bugs with Windows 10, which is a problem for most Windows users. They say updates can fix it, but it's better to not update Windows soon as they appear, as they contain lots of bugs. Try to troubleshoot first if you find any problems. If it persists, then try contacting customer service or update Windows. Battery is 64 Wh and lasts 2 hours max on gaming. On normal to medium usage, I get around 4 to 5 hours. Don't expect much, but some users have reported to get 8 hours on light usage. Also, it takes below 1.5 hours for a full charge, thanks to the 150W adapter. The downside is that the adapter tends to heat up a lot sometimes, especially during gaming, which is quite alarming. I just unplug it if it becomes too hot, because it can damage the adapter sooner on prolonged usage. Coming to the cooling, on turbo mode fans are super fast, allowing it to maintain temperatures below 75 degrees Celsius even in extended gaming sessions. But on performance mode, unplugged mode, the fans are slow, so you can expect it to heat up quite a lot. But who games on battery these days, so it won't be an issue for gamers. Other than that, there are no heating issues in normal usage. There is an intake below the laptop, 2 out vents on the backside which are located near the CPU and GPU fans, and 1 vent on top of the keyboard in front of the display. Every I/O port is on the left side, and keep in mind it has 2 USB 3.0 ports and 1 2.0 port. The RAM present is 8GB DDR4 single channel. It has an extra slot for RAM and can be upgraded to dual channel for better performance. Click link in description for more reviews.